The number one thing I think what parents struggling with or can struggle with is guilt. And I can remember when I knew I was becoming a mother, I was really wondering, like, I could not understand all those people who are like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm a good mom and all those things. And I was like, of course you are. Where does this doubt come from? And now sometimes I see the self within my life. I can be something like, okay, I see these things can use some improvements. How the heck am I going to do it? And what is the way to deal with this guilt? Because what I sense when I'm in a state of guilt, I'm becoming even a more worse mother. Because the feelings of guilt are doing something to the way I see myself, the way I feel myself. And of course, I know it's all from the mind, but I cannot ignore the effect it has on my state of being right now, in that moment of feelings of guilt. So, how can we manage it? Honestly, most of the time, I don't know. It's something where I'm still sometimes facing it, and I feel it's doing something to myself, to my self esteem. And I see, it feels like I'm an observer about what's happening. And what am I going to do? Sometimes it's really going down to that deeper feeling of who we are. That we are not the guilt machine. We are a human. And guilt, feeling of guilt, is not serving us. It doesn't bring us everywhere. And I think we need to start seeing guilt as a sign that there are some spaces in our life, some subjects, some parts of our life where we are longing for improvements. Let's see guilt as a sign that there are still spaces, there are still things in our life what we want to improve, where we are not happy with. Because there is where guilt comes from. You want to do things different. You wanted to do things different and you weren't able to do them different in that moment. And that sometimes can be painful. But let's be mindful. That's what you hear often, right? But when you're in that moment of feeling guilty, you can say to yourself, okay, I understand, da 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 da. To me, most of the time, it doesn't work. So let's accept those feelings of guilt in that moment. And know that most of the time it's also triggering something which has been already there. Most of the time our child's or life events are triggering some feeling from the past when we were a child, when we were younger. Maybe even from a moment you even didn't have words for the things you wanted to express. Let it be our guides, that we go down to that part in our body, in our, I want to say memory, I don't believe so much in memory, in our, let's say memory, in our remembrance, where it happened, and process those feelings so that they don't pop every time up in the presence. Have a lovely day. I'm going to the bus. I'm happy I'm very much on time. So it was time to make a beautiful video for a beautiful human. Ciao, ciao. And please, you're doing a great job. And I know you know that, but sometimes it's nice if someone else also acknowledges it. Right? Ciao, ciao.